Okay, we have a very strange statement that the sages tell us. We know that there was a very terrible thing that happened to Dinah. Dinah was Nensa. She was forcibly attacked by Shem, and he violated her. And the question is why? Now, first you have to understand, when the sages tell us certain things or certain reasons, they're giving you a snapshot of a larger picture. There are so many deep, deep reasons I can't even share this in this format of why this happened to Dinah, who she was, Kabbalistically, what her connection to Chava was, who the Shema, the original mother of all humanity. Shem, the person who violated her, is called Achivi, which means the serpent. And what happened? It's the deepest thing. The sages also tell about certain things that Dinah did wrong and certain things that Yaakov did wrong. So, for you to understand, when the sages say it happened for a certain reason, there are many, many factors. But I want to focus on one issue today, which is bizarre. The sages tell us the reason why this happened, what Yaakov did wrong in the calculation, was that he hid Dinah from Esav. He put her in a box so that Esav couldn't see her when he met Esav, because he was afraid Esav would see her. See how beautiful she was and want to marry her. And he didn't want his evil brother to marry his daughter Dinah. So the sages say because he wouldn't let his daughter marry Esav, then she ended up getting violated by by Shem the Chivite. Very bizarre. First of all, why would Yaakov be obligated to let his daughter marry this evil person? Of course, he's not obligated for that. How could he be held accountable for something? What could possibly be a reason why he should let Dinah marry Esav? So some rabbis, the Mussar rabbis, say it wasn't that he didn't allow it, it was how he didn't allow it. When he put her in the box, he should have been crying, and every time he closed the box and knocked on a nail in and saying, oh, I wish I could give Dinah to my brother. Instead, he would say, no, she'll never see my daughter. Okay. But I want to explain something so deep. The deeper reason why it was so bad that he wasn't able to give Dinah to Esav. And the sages tell us something very, very deep. We talked about it. You can refer to the class on Toldos, Yaakov and Esav, two worlds, where we explained that in the original plan, Esav could have been part of the Jewish people. He was going to be the external world. He became Rome. Imagine if Rome were holy Jews who were pushing people to learn Torah. So the original plan, Esav and Yaakov could have had a combination where Esav would have taken care of the physical world and Yaakov would have taken care of the spiritual world, which is what Yitzchak wanted. But Esav sold out. And therefore Yaakov had to take on Esav's mission too. And therefore now Yaakov has the external world, the Jewish people, they own land, they have to work. And he has the internal mission that the tribe of Levi, Issachar, and those who choose, will only learn Torah. So Yaakov actually took over Esav's mission in life. That's what he did. That's why everything changed. That's why in last week's parsha, he had to go into exile, because now he was Esav. Esav's role was to conquer the physical world and turn it to good. Yaakov was going to sit and learn Torah. Now he had to do both. That explains a very, very deep thing. How did Yaakov marry two sisters? It's not allowed. And the sages say, well, because it was before the Torah was given. Okay, but the sages kept the Torah before it was given because they knew it was the right thing. So why would he bend the rule here? He was allowed to, but why should he? The blueprint of the Torah works out perfectly in the world. And the answer is because Esav sold out. The original plan was that Esav would marry Leah and Yaakov would marry Rachel if Esav chose to be righteous. But since he didn't, he was out. He sold himself to Jewish people. And that's why Leah was crying when people had said, oh, she should marry Esav, because she knew she really was his soulmate. And therefore Yaakov now knew the righteous Leah had the tribes of the Jewish people in her, and he had to now take on Esav's mission and also Esav's soulmate. Amazing. And it says that Leah did an amazing thing. She cried. until her eyes were soft from tears, and she merited to be married to Yaakov because she rejected Esav in his way, and she merited to be part of the Jewish people. Now, so what does that do with Dinah? So the sages tell us, what does it mean that she was supposed to marry Esav? There are two levels of soulmates. There is one soulmate that's called the soulmate according to the mazel, according to the destiny of what you're supposed to be. And that is decreed when the child is 40 days in the womb. A heavenly voice comes out and says, this one will marry this one. That is called your soulmate based on the destiny, all things being equal. If you become what you could be and the soulmate becomes what she should be, then this is the couple it's meant to be. Now, Esav was Leah's soulmate, Zivah Grisha, his first potential soulmate. Now, if a person becomes something else, then they can not be getting their soulmate number one. They can get their soulmate. It's called Zivug Aidei Maisim. The soulmate comes through actions. You became a certain person, and now you don't want to marry the potential of what it was. This other guy didn't become that. And now you won't be able to get together. So the soulmate now has to go to the other level based on what you became. And that's the deeper statement in the Talmud. Says to connect the soulmates is harder than splitting the Red Sea. Obviously, nothing's hard for Hashem, but the point is that he moves all of reality. That's not talking about the first soulmate. That's already planned. It's now we get to the second soulmate, that the potential soulmate. Now, again, the deeper understanding is there's a we don't know what souls are, but there's a connection to the soul. Also, even the second soulmate, but it's determined based on the actions. The sages tell us that Dinah was the soulmate of Esav based on the actions. Now, wait a minute. What does that mean? He was a Russian. She was a tzedekah. She was righteous. He was evil. How can they be based on actions? That's not what it means. I heard from Moshe Kurzitsai. He said, no, what it means was the actions of each and who they were. She had the potential to change Esav. Leah wouldn't have done it because Leah was the soulmate based on the mazel, based on the destiny, and he didn't become who he could become. He could have been. But now, what they each became, even though she was a tzedek and he was a Rasha, Dinah was his second soulmate based on deeds, and she actually could have changed Esav. And that's why the sages say it was so sad and unfortunate that Yaakov didn't, and I'm playing, of course, from quantum logic, he shouldn't have. But in the deeper sense, if Dinah would have married Esav, she would have changed him based on the deeds and made him into a tzaddik. And then the world would have also been changed too. All the best.